Perfect. So welcome everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I have here with me today Mr. Nicholas Lawrence. How are you, Nick?
Surviving.
A very optimistic voice tone, as everyone can tell. And then I have my lovely panelists here with me today as well. Our speaker for tonight, Stephane. How are you, my dear?
I'm fine, and you? No, I'm pretty fine. Thank you.
Good. It's a pleasure to have you both here with me today.
Yeah, from Belgium. It would be fine and funny.
Yes, very good. Perfect. So then I believe we're ready to start. So welcome everyone. Welcome all of my attendees as well. We are live on YouTube and we're also live on Twitch. And I believe we are ready to start then. Perfect. So the plan for today, can everyone see this? Is this clear for everyone? Yeah? Super big and super green? Yeah? Can you see this? Guys?
What?
I'm gonna, yeah, can you see the screen?
Yeah,
is everything okay?
yes.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect,
sure.
Cool. Sorry. Perfect, so the plans for today. So we're starting right now. Then at 7 p.m. we're gonna have Stephane talking to us about distributed web scraping using Kafka. And then we're gonna have a short Q&A session. Then after that, we have our lightning talks. And since it's a short one today, we're ending our year. So for our Did You Know tonight, I decided to choose a Black lady to talk about. So Dorothy Vaughn, she was born in 1910, and she was the first Black American to hold a supervisory position in the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. And that's the old NASA organization. So she started, just one second, sorry, I'm looking at the chat here. I missed the chat. So yeah, she started there she started there earlier. And she has quite an inspirational story. After her career as a supervisor there, that went on for something around like 28 years. When it was 1958, after Russia launched the Sputnik 1, she thought that would be a good idea to join the American force, the American run against Russians' space exploitation. So she decided to start stealing books because those books were forbidden for Black people to read. So she decided to start stealing books on Fortran because she wanted to learn Fortran. She became an expert in Fortran, and then she decided to start training ladies on her team to learn Fortran with her. And so her career went from being a supervisor to building a teamwork inside of the company and teaching everyone Fortran. She would come up with sentences as any upward movement is movement for us all, as trying to help the team, and saying that Black females would have to be twice as good to get half as far. So they would have to work very, very hard to get anywhere in the institution. And she had quite an inspirational life. And by the end of it, she also used to say that she got into NASA, the old NASA, and she changed what she could, and what she couldn't change, she endured. I thought that was quite an inspirational story for today, having in mind what's going on in the world right now. So that's it. Then we only have one announcement for today. That is our next meetup that is going to happen on the 8th of July, on the second Wednesday of the month, as always.
Hold on.
Yes?
Yes, there is another event that has not really been published yet, But in 2 weeks from now, Python Ireland as an organization will hold its General Assembly, so the AGM.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a public event, but this will not be webcasted or recorded because it's a privilege. You get there. It's about the effort to go there. So anyone that is a supporter or a long standing attendee of all our events is more than welcome to show up and share their thought. We are obviously always on the lookout for new committee members because, believe it or not, as the smoother it runs means the more efforts before, and the more people involved means the less effort per capita. So we're looking for more people to be part of that organization. It's not too late to show up interest. And during this meeting, we provide a feedback over what we have done, accomplished, succeeded or failed over the last year, the last period. I also provide a financial statement about what's the current situation of the company, what we can afford, where we made money, where we lost money, where it was invested. Don't forget, we are a non-profit company, so nobody's making a personal profit out of it, but we still owe to public records that what we're doing with sponsors' money or your tickets money, where it's going, and the kind of project we promote and sponsor with that. So plenty of news. It will happen in 2 weeks and it's already late, but I hope our dear supporter will excuse us. There were unforeseen circumstances this year. Small stuff. So it's a friendly bunch of people. You can show up with little or no experience. You can show up with a wealth of experience. It's all about mixing the point of views and the backgrounds there, so we can get the best of everything. And this will be no secret. We certainly hope to have Lais there elected that day. So tell me you will be on the list.
I will try my best.
And also, I will use this opportunity to say, if you want to be elected, you should notify contact@python.ie before, because you need to be vetted by a current member. So that's protocol. So nothing too fancy, but that's this once a year duty. It's overdue. It should have happened late March, early April, and so it's going to happen late June. So yeah, that was my bit about that.
Your 2 cents, very good. Well, thank you very much for that. I actually completely forgot about AGM, but thank you for the reminder.
Yeah, I won't forget about that, because you mentioned that girl struggling like 62 years ago. We are not 62 years ago. We are not in the US. We are definitely in Europe 60 years later. And nice, you're the rising star of this organization. So no blockers here.
Oh, thank you. I just want to have more, not of me, of course, but like more of us in the organization, because that's how we build community. That's how we build diversity. That's how we build inclusion. And that's how we make the tech world work.
And that's how each of us do less.
I mean,
the whole point, being lazy smart, right?
Yes, that's a goal. Yeah.
We are all software engineers. It's all about being lazy smart and have a machine do our job,
Yes, or other humans, absolutely, like Amazon. Anyhow, so perfect. With no further ado, then we have Stephane here with us today, and talking about distributed web scraping with Kafka. Welcome. I will give you the place now. You're welcome to share your screen.
Okay, thank you. So where is my screen? This one. Thank you. Oh, no. Yeah. Okay. Do you see my screen? Hello?
Yes, we do see
Yes,
your
Okay.
screen.
you're
No
good, you're
worries.
good.
Yes.
Okay, today I'm going to explain how to use Kafka. The main example is just for the distribution of the load. In this case, I'm going to use FastAPI, Kafka, Faust, Minio, and Splinter. FastAPI is just a component where you can write some web services. Kafka is the broker. Faust is a consumer for this broker. Minio is an object store when you can store your files. Splinter is just a component where you can play with your browser. For example, you can make some screenshots, or you can play with the web interface and the DOM. For the agenda, firstly, it will have the description, a sequence diagram, and the live coding session. For the description, I'm going to create just a web service to create some screenshot. And for that, we have the diagram. We have Lais. Lais is the user, and she would like to have a screenshot from a website. For that, she will interact with a web service. This web service will send a request to Kafka, and Kafka will, Faust will thread it. Faust is a consumer and will play with a Splinter and Minio. And at the end, the consumer, so Faust, will send an email to Lais. For example, we have Lais. Lais is a Python enthusiast, and she will play the role of user for this use case. She will submit a request, like this one. We can interpolate with a web interface, but in case, it's just with HTTPI. And she will receive an email with a screenshot. So how can we do that? That's very simple. In fact, we will use a lot of components. Firstly, for the web service, I'm going to use FastAPI. It's just a web framework for the APIs. For the producer, I'm going to use IO Kafka. It's just a async IO client for Kafka. For the broker, of course, Apache Kafka. For the consumer, I'm going to use Faust. And for the storage, I will use Minio. For the rest, there will be IO SMTP-lib. It's just an async IO client for SMTP. So it's a live coding session. And for that, I need to have your patience. So I'm going to start firstly. We need to have some component here. The first and the main one is just Kafka. This one is the broker, okay? I have already configured this component, and I don't need to play with the stuff. For the storage, I will use Minio. You can see just a Docker Compose file with Minio for the configuration. And for the mock SMTP, I will use Mailhog, okay? Just because I would like to see some results. Yes and no. Sorry. So firstly, we can see Minio. Minio is just a system where you can upload some files. And we have Mailhog, where we can see the result when you send an SMTP message, an email, just that. So, and now we will start with a live coding session. You can see my directory where you have, for example, the Docker Compose file and the dependency of my project. In this case, I'm going to use Poetry. Poetry is a dependency manager, and I think maybe it's the best because, no, in fact, I have no issue with this one. So I will use Python, Faust, Minio, Uvicorn, EGSON, Mod, FastAPI, HTTPX, BS4, Splinter, Pillow, ISMTP-lib, Python decouple for the configuration, Python
Stephane, take a breeze there and maybe go slowly.
Yeah, but in fact, I have to write.
Each of those library do, you know, like I know that we have a pillow maintainer in the room, so remind him what it does and the rest of us with it.
Yeah, but in fact, I have a lot of code to write. That's why. And I have just 40 minutes.
No.
Yeah. So the question is from my screen, how to get an image. Here you can see just my command. I'm going to post an HTTP request to my local web service on the port 8001 with this link and to this email, okay? If I try, I will have an issue. Firstly, I need to create the web service, okay? And for that, I'm going to use FastAPI. So here, I'm going to create this file. Just that will be the producer, because the producer will be just the web service. And now let's go. Firstly, we need to create an application. For that, I will use FastAPI, op, debug. I'm going to use true, and just that. For the auto completion, I can use the auto completion of PyCharm. So here, I'm going to use this code, and we can see that we have a web service. If I try, I have not found. There's a problem with that. So to solve it, firstly, I need to write some router. Router is just API router from FastAPI, and okay, thank you. And a router post, I will submit a message, and for that, I have to define the source code. So firstly, I have nothing here, that's fine. Okay, and I'm going to return a message. Okay, just a copy and paste because I'm just lazy. Okay, if I retry and I send a message, it's not found, just because I need to add my my router to FastAPI. I try it, and now I have a message. Oh, Python is pretty cool. Yeah, thank you. So what else? We need to parse the content of my request. If I see the content, just here, payload is await request JSON, and for that I need to specify request. What's that? Come on. Yeah, import HTTP node telnet. Oh, from FastAPI import request. Import, yeah, okay, should be fine. And I'm going to retry. And no, we don't see, of course, print the payload. So, and now we can see we have the result just there. Okay, we need to pass this component to a Kafka. And for that, I'm going to define just the consumer. New file, consumer, please come on. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to share the screen in two. And here, I'm going to use Faust. For that, I have Faust. Faust is just a library when you can create your consumer. For example, here, that will be just, try to find, yeah, up. Yes, Faust app, with, for example, a name. This name will be Lice1, for example. And I'm going to create an agent. Okay, for this agent, it's just a function, an asynchronous function. For example, consumer, and I'm going to receive some messages for async for message, and messages print message. Okay, and for that, I need to specify a topic. But for the topic, just here, I topic. In Faust, I need to specify a name. And for the rest, it would be, for example, a value. Message record. A message record is just a record that I'm going to create just here, class message record. Faust record serializer is a JSON, and namespace is a message record. Okay, and in the message record, I'm going to copy this thing. Yeah, hopla, thank you. Authenticate. And I'm going to do the same thing on the left. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Nice. And now, if I try to send my message, and I will have a problem because firstly, I need to be connected to the broker. And for that, I'm going to create just a service. A service is a small component where you can send some message to the friend of to Kafka. So I'm going to complete the line. Just this one, yeah. Asyncio, please come on. Node, yeah. Should be fine. Up, yep. Functors, yeah. IO Kafka, up, yeah, yep. That's okay, that's fine. Yes, and now I could do that. I have my service, broker service is, for example, broker, where I need to pass some component, for example, the broker. Broker is just the list of the brokers. In this case, it's just a localhost, okay? Because I use the version on my computer. And I'm going to start it. Broker service started. And when I will have finished, I'm going to stop it. Service stop. If I try it, here, messages topic, and now just messages topic. I return, and no poetry run Faust should be fine. Okay, oh, yeah, that's fine. And now if I try hit, yeah, there is nothing just because I don't send the message. I have just a connection between the customer and the producer. So for that, I need to send a message. I have the payload, and my message is just will be this one, consumer. Yeah. Wait, please. Okay, identifier is UID F4. Okay, that's fine. We have the payload. We have the email here. It will be just email and sorry URL. Okay, and if I try that to send a message, we can see we send a message from the current producer to the first consumer. Okay, in a few lines of code. We don't count for the broker service, but with that, on the left, we have the producer. On the right, we have the consumer. And of course, we have the web service. Okay, so now I would like to do another thing. Firstly, I would like to start the broker service when I start the application, not when I do the request. For that, I can use app, add event handler on startup, and I'm going to create something like on startup. But for that, I prefer to create an event handler. For example, where are you? You're just there. Yep, come on, please. It's a copy and paste, sorry. Hopefully. Event handler is a start, yep, app, and now I can give this one event handler start and startup, on startup, yep. And because I need to be disconnected from Kafka, I'm going to close the connection on shutdown. Shutdown, thank you. So if I try that, yeah, here settings is just the broker, localhost. Okay, and now if I try.
No, you need to remove start and stop from the class above.
No, that's fine.
Above.
No, don't worry for the moment. So we can see here, we have my broker service is starting and connected to the producer. But you're right about one thing. Firstly, I don't need to create the broker in this case, okay? But I'm going to keep this line, and I'm going to close, to remove that one. So with FastAPI, we can specify something like that. So broker service is equal to, wait, up, come on. With that, I'm going to create a new command. So def get broker service request, and I'm going to read the request from the system. Return request app store state, and here there will be something like broker service. We can see here just there. Okay, and now if I try, fix the dependency, yeah, it should be fine. And just restart it. Okay, we can see that we send a message from FastAPI to the Kafka and from Kafka to the consumer. That's fine. Now we need to thread it. Okay, here in my consumer, I'm going to copy and paste some lines of code. Firstly, I'm going to use just HTTPX is a new library using HTTP1 or HTTP2, and the syntax, the syntax is very similar to a request. So print response. Okay, and I'm going to share to see the result. For that, I need to restart the Faust consumer, please. And yeah, that's fine. And we can see we have a response 200. That's fine. So, and now I would like to have a screenshot. For that, I'm going to use Splinter. Splinter is just a component there where, just here, please. No, something like that. Just there. I'm going to use passive. Okay, browser come from Splinter. Yeah, me too, etc., etc. And now I'm going to check if the response, status code is equal to 200. In this case, there is no problem with the server. I'm going just to get and download the result. So, agent, come on, please. Thank you. You don't find, yeah, okay, thank you. And now I'm going to restart. I would like to see agent app log info pass. For that, I like to use Python 3.8. Sorry. Yes, we can do the same thing. No, are you ready? I'm going to have the result in few seconds, not minutes, seconds. Execute Splinter. Yeah, and I have a file, ahog, just tmp dpgr. And now you can see that I have a screenshot with the event of today. Okay, thank you. So the next point is just to store it. Now, I'm going to send a message to Liz, just because she is a wonderful girl about that in the Python community, and I'm going to send a message. For that, I need to send, for example, an email topic, app topic emails, where the value will be the same record, message record. Okay, and now I'm going to write consumer for this one. App agent email topic with a S for the grammar for the same thing. Okay, and now wait and see. Yep. Yeah. Okay, email message just from here. YAL is the library where you want to construct a link that will be really funny. HTTP localhost 8 01. Message identifier should be fine. Print the screenshot URL. Yes, I would like to test that. Up, just because I'm lazy. Okay, and no, I'm going to test that. Okay, just to disable the screenshot, I'm going to simulate it. Pass is equal. Well, yeah. Okay. Restart my first consumer. Yeah. And no, please. Doop doop. Oh. I have not yet restarted my consumer. Sorry. With the new code. Should be fine. Okay. Screenshot off. And normally, here we have screenshot and yeah, I need to do one thing. Firstly, I need to send, I need to yield a message. Yield message, the current message. And for that, I need to inform Faust that you need to send the message to the topic, the email topic. So just restarting. Hey, come on. Oh, very slow. Yeah. Okay, no. Screenshot URL, etc. And we can see that screenshot URL comes from this line. From that. So we pass from this consumer to the other one. And now I'm going to send just a message. The full message was etc. Yeah. Come on, please. Hopla. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Etc. Message screenshot. Yeah. Should be fine. I'm going to start. Yeah, there's a missing feature with Faust. There's no reload feature. That's really boring sometimes. iOS MTP is not defined. Yeah, of course, but already imported. Yeah. Hey, come on. Okay, consumer, we can see, and now in the result, I'm going to go and, oh, we have a new mail. We have a link. We have this meetup, this link to the meetup. Okay. And we have an image, but this one does not exist. Okay, not found. For that, I'm going to write the counterpart where we can download the file, and I'm going to store it into Minio. Okay. For that, what I need to do, just to store it into the system. I'm going to write the object store. Where are you? Yeah, the object store is this one. Come on, please. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to create a new service. No, I'm going to copy and paste. Yep. Okay. And I'm going to create a new file. New, thank you. Services.py. Yeah, I would like it, of course. So I need to fix the issues with the imports. And for that, I like to use the import function of PyCharm. Yeah, come on. Next point. Yeah, should be fine. Okay, here, what can you see? I have created a new object store service where I'm going to give the link for the server, the access key, the secret key, bucket name, etc. And I have one interesting feature, interesting function, the store image. So I'm going to use it just in my code. And the consumer, please come on. And I close the screen. Where are you? Just here. So I'm going to execute the message. And no, where? Yeah. I'm going to. Yep. Agent, yeah, for object store. If I try, I will have an exception because the component don't find one thing. Post, I receive the message, Splinter will be executed, and I will have a crash. Wait. Yes, I have a crash. Why? My service does not exist. So for that, I need to create a specific version of my application, Faust application. So, yeah, nice one. Sorry, nice one. Yeah, and the settings, what will be? Settings 1, etc. For that, I need to read the information from this file, env. And I'm going to create just a new file. Settings. Thank you. Yeah, sure. I need to do that. Copy and paste. Thank you. And now I'm going to import it. Yep. Yep. Typing should be okay. Nice. And now what's the result? If I try, just need to object store. Ah, yeah. Object store does not exist, of course. From services, import object store service. Now, can we start it? Okay, and now I'm going to execute my requests. Crossfinger. IO is not defined. Oh no. IO. Yeah, in services. IO, where are you? Oh, just there. Okay, come on. Yep, thank you. Restart this. Yep. I have a message. Come on. Yeah. So if I return, firstly, I have a new message just there with a link. But if I return in my Minio server, firstly, I have a bucket screenshot and I have link. I can try to download it. Yeah, and open. What is the result? Oh, it's the same thing. Okay, nice. Of course, I can try with another system. For example, I don't know, Python IE. Started. It's not a joke. Yeah, come on. Yeah, can return here. We have two files. Is this one? Download. Yep. And we can see that's Python Ireland. Okay, that's not a markup. So we have the storage. We can send a message, but I would like to, when we click on the mail, just here, I would like to get the file. Okay, and for that, I need to do one thing: get the screenshot. What? But from what? From the producer is the web service. And for that, I'm going to just copy and paste a part of code. Come on, here, where's the producer? Just here. And I'm going to create just a new, come on, new identifier. And here, I'm sorry, I need to have a new helper. So firstly, I define a new route, I'm going to define a new function. And here, oh, IO, yes. Oh, no. Yep. And HTTP exception, yeah. Status not found, yeah. And for objects not found, yeah. Where's my service? And the other one, the other page. Yeah, just here. Okay, import it. And I'm going to create this function, request, return, request, app, state, object store, I think service. I think it's this one, yeah. And of course, I need to uncomment it. Where are you? Commands from settings, yeah. Okay, should be fine. Yeah, to be sure. Wait, yes, and this one. Okay. Okay. And now I'm going to try. Okay. Pretty cool. So, can I receive a new message? Ah, yeah, this one. If I try to click here, I have the image. Okay. So, but I would like to get the image with an HTTP, and for that I need to return something. Sorry. Wait. What can I do? Oh yeah. Firstly, I need to have an identifier, this one, but I need to return the identifier from the web interface, and for that, I need to add a new handler. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's fine. A new handler, a new media, a new middleware. Add middleware, and my middleware will be add identifier middleware. Okay, and here I'm going to create a new class. This class will inherit from don't remember. Yeah, base HTTP middleware. Okay, async def dispatch is the function to override dispatch. Self request call next is the norm of SGI. Request state identifier will be, and I copy paste this line. No, this one. Apply, come on. Yep. Okay, and now await, return, sorry, await call next request. Just need to do something like alt enter, and now I have my function. Okay, and I would like to get the identifier, and for that, get, no, here, identifier comes from this UID. Yep. Okay, it just this line. Pydantic command, and get identifier will be a new function. Request, etc. Return request state, app state, identifier. Should be fine. And to be sure, I'm going to print the identifier, print identifier is equal, and now return in my screen, and just do identifier is not, yeah. Where's the, oh no, it's not here, sorry. Just there. Yeah. Yep. Chip. Oh. Yep. Okay. And just need to copy and paste the line just there. And now to restart. State object as not identifier. Why? Just because identifier state. Yeah. Just, is that fine? It's just here. Okay, restart. And now we have the identifier just there. And I'm going to use it for the return, for the response of the function of the call. Sorry. For that, I need to use the response, and X identifier will be identifier. For that, I need to play with response. Response. It's a feature of FastAPI. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And because I would like to use a JSON response. Yep. What's the problem with this one? External, etc. Oh yeah. Just need to convert it. Okay, I'm going to send my message. And now we have the identifier. Okay, so after that, I could do just get my identifier, PNG, and just download it. Yeah. I have an issue just because I don't have the right identifier. I'm going to define it. Identifier is just there. Yeah, identifier with a string. Yeah, and no. Okay, and I can check something just like 0. And now we have the image. We have a full web service where you can deploy that on a Kubernetes cluster. And just with this feature, I think that you can support a lot of requests. I use that for a client project, and it can support a lot of millions of requests per hour. There's no problem with Kafka and the deployment, etc. So I think that's all. I have to check. Yeah, of course, we can refactor, etc. And here, just the final version. So now I'm going to share with you, what else? We have the schema, we have a lot of things. No, that's fine. I think we have everything. That's all. Yeah, sorry. There's another thing. Yeah, this was the live coding. The source code is on my GitHub repository. You can copy and paste the link. Thank you. Are you dead?
Thank you. That was awesome. Yes, we're here. Don't worry. Yes.
No, I know that sometimes I can be really quick when I present something, but 4 minutes.
Yeah,
what?
Thank you so much. Yeah, the guys in the chat, everyone is saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we have a question actually from Chuck from the beginning. I was just waiting for you to finish. So yeah, she's asking how complicated it is to use poetry. She never used
No,
before,
it's very,
but she knows it's quite.
yeah.
She knows it's quite popular.
MKD demo check. For example, Chuck, can you see this one? Okay, I think yes. Firstly, poet demo check. Poetry in it, etc. And you will have a Py project file. And now you can just add your dependency. For example, I would like to use FastAPI, UVcorn, and SQL Alchemy. And the system will download them for you. Okay. For Liam, in fact, I think Celery does not support async. I'm not sure, but for Faust, there's no problem. Yeah, there's no problem. For check, in fact, yes, you need to just poetry add, and this component will create a virtual env just for your repository, and you can update them. And there is an interesting feature when you want to update your dependency. If there is an issue with the versioning of your dependency, it won't update them, just for the minor version or the patch version, not to the major. It's not you can do the same thing with pip, but I think it's different. And here, yeah, I don't have any problem with that. So for the installation of UV loop, it's just very slow. But yeah. Another question?
Not there, but I would love if you could talk to me a little bit more about Splinter.
Yeah, sure. About Splinter. So wait, I'm going to take the source code in this function. Screenshot. In fact, here I'm going to use just the browser in mode on index mode and incognito, and you can visit it. And here, just for a screenshot, if you want to do real web scraping with this thing, I prefer that you use a beautiful soup for the HTML, XML files, etc. But if you have any interaction with JavaScript, that will be better to use a Splinter or Selenium. So, and of course, here is not the case, but you can use a grid of servers with Splinter and Selenium, mainly with, especially with Selenium. And for that, you have some Docker images that you can use for your system. Here, just a small example, but for example, if you like to download some images or videos from YouTube, you can do the same thing with YouTube download. And you can deploy the consumer on, I don't know, maybe 10, 100 servers. There's no problem for that, because it can support the load. For example, what can I say? With the interesting thing with Kafka, when you send some messages, the messages is very slow. The message is very light, a very small message, and you can send 1 million of message in few seconds. Okay, and with the consumer, you can treat them just with concurrency. For example, with Faust, you can use 100 or 200 agents on the same time.
That's amazing.
On the same computer. Yeah, I like to use it, this one. And Kafka is not just a broker. For example, if you receive a message from your producer, you can use KSQL, where you can interact and add some information in the current message. With KSQL, you can interact with the message and create a new message. It's not the case with Redis and Celery. I think it's not the case. And you can play with the event streaming. That's pretty good.
Okay, oh, yeah. Cool, thank you. Thank you.
Stephane, there is a question there about how would you say FastAPI compares to Django?
The main interest of FastAPI, firstly, FastAPI is based on Stateless. Stateless it's fine, pretty good, and very speed, very fast. Sorry, there's no problem for that. I can manage 2,000 or 3,000 connections per second on a server, and yeah, we can do that. For example, here I'm going to get the broker, and here HTTP siège. For example, I'm going to send for duration of 10 seconds. Should be fine. Yeah. Log level critical. No, yeah, critical. No, in this case, not. Yeah, FastAPI is a little bit slower, but if you use here workers 8, should be fine. Print. Bye. Print. Yep. Okay. We have to wait 10 seconds. Yeah, here we can have a little bit between 100 and 1,000 transactions per second. But with Starlet, yesterday I played with I think 2,000 requests per second. And now there's an interesting thing, because we use HTTP. Firstly, you can deploy on a lot of nodes in a Kubernetes cluster, and you can support 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 requests. It's not a problem for that. But FastAPI is very interesting because, in fact, you can have the documentation. Here we have FastAPI localhost docs, I think it's docs. We have an OpenAPI interface, and you can give this one to your developer. That's very interesting. Or what else? You have the validation of the schema, for example, here. Yeah, here we have request with the payload, but for example, I would like to use a message like this one, payload, fire, yeah, it's fine, payload response, and we don't need to have request. Yeah. Okay, and now for the payload, for the schema, up. Yep. Yeah. And now if you print, just want to be sure that I'm going to copy the right thing. Bye-bye, bye-bye. And just here, print payload equal. Just body. No, body is important. Yep, just a small one. And now you have the parsing, and you have an object, and you can play with this object. It's a feature of FastAPI. You don't have the case with a Starlet or another component. Maybe with Django, I'm not sure. So, do you have another question? No. Okay.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't seem like it. He was commenting saying that Selenium Grid just sounds like it just does just a trick. Nick might have a question. Do you have a question, Nick? Are you all good?
Well, my question is, how do you do it? You know.
What?
Always very impressive. We love your style. Live coding, you know. No plan B. That's the real trick. And you make it look easy as well. Obviously, the question I know we'll be facing for days now is, will you share the repo? We can observe this code, you know, on a quiet moment later on.
Yeah, fine. The repository is just there. Magic size. Where? Please, come on. Yeah, talk. Yeah. And you can download everything. Yeah. Last thing I would like to show to you is the pre-commit package. For example, you like to write a lot of codes, Python code. Run pre-commit. And this package will interact with isort black flake 8 and will check a lot of things.
Yeah,
and in fact, if you do this thing, and why not? You try to do something like that, etc. Or no, you don't want to have this thing just there, etc. You can execute poetry. Git status, git add, etc. Git no poetry run, and you will have some failed. But if you try to, the system will try to fix them for you. Nicolas, the system which the tools will fix them for you.
Yeah. I'm a big fan, so it's great you focus on that.
Yeah, and here, of course, in the repository, you have my configuration where I use isort, black, flake, pre-commit hooks, training white space, and etc. etc.
Yeah, so we have comments in the chat mentioning that sometimes you need to convince your colleague to follow up the pay thingy. I think this is a story of the past. You just run black on pre-commit and you make the merge fail if it's not blacked and be done, you know. That's it. It's not your style. It's not their style. It's the bot style, and that's it. You get used to it.
I see some messages from Liam. Yes, Liam. Yes, you can use Selenium in Docker, but I'm not sure that you will increase the speed of the component, just because sometimes Selenium play as some latency, and I don't know why. I don't know if the problem is from the Java component or just from the Python code or from the driver. I've seen this problem in my previous job mission. So can Selenium, etc. If it's possible, not sure that you mean spelling in Selenium to occur. Oh, Nicholas, describe one page in Selenium. Selenium group. Yeah, Liam, you're right. You can use Selenium Grid for that. Thanks a lot. I think it's sped up my force my colleague to follow PEP 8. Fine. I don't use PEP 8. Just read. I know the best practice about that, but you with pre-commit you can use auto PEP 8, and or you can use a Flake 8 or black. Yeah. Why boost Flake 8 and black? Black is Edison. Black is just for the formatter, without compromise. Just a formatter, like GoFMT. And Flake 8 is like PyLint. It's a linter. It will inform you that you have some issues with your code. For example, you have a variable and this one is not yet initialized, or because you just forget to import a library, something like that. Jaco, yeah, black format, yeah. From Flake, yeah. So nice, black is quite elegant, yeah. Oh, thanks. Okay. And of course, if you want to ask me something, you can send me a mail to my email, stephane@wirtel.be, and you can share it.
Oh, you're amazing. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, that was the best live coding session I've ever seen as well.
Yeah, for the question. I started to develop this component, this application with Visual Studio Code, but at the end, I prefer to use Python just because for the auto-completion, some other stuff. I don't know why. Maybe I have to discuss with the guys from the extension for Python.
I thought you were an Atom person.
What?
I thought you were using Atom.
No.
Like, I mean, not today, but like last time I saw you coding, I thought you were using Atom.
No, I started to use Emacs, Vim, PyCharm, Add. I use a lot of editors, but I think for the development, my favorite is PyCharm.
Okay. Okay. Do you use the dev version or the community version?
The professional version.
Okay.
And I think to use the other components because, yeah, I am a freelancer, and for that, I could use the community edition, but sometimes I need to work with Vue.js, with Java, with C++, or Python, of course. And with the professional, I have all the plugins and more options. But,
like the double terminal as well, that doesn't work. Like you can't have multiple terminals on the community version, and a few other bits and pieces.
But if you think it's not very expensive, it's just €1 per day. And on the third year of the subscription, you can have a discount for this, from the second year. And if you contribute to Python or an open source project, you can have a free license. That's great for the maintainers and the coders.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, if you're a student, I think you get it for free. I was just using both of them because I wanted to compare. So I think if you're a student, if you do community work, yes, as well, you get discounts. If you do, like, there's a bunch of discounts for the professional edition. It's quite a good one.
Yeah, in my case, I prefer to pay for the professional edition just because I'm a freelancer. I win my life with Python, and I prefer to pay the developers of JetBrains for a good project. And I prefer to leave the free license for the maintainers or for the people where the salary, or I don't know in English, but where they have a problem to pay the license.
When they don't have enough money to pay. Yeah, absolutely.